Hello everyone, how's it going? I am Louis, the average guy in 1983. Thank you very much for joining me on this video. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys out on the road with me with the Roadrunner V3, and we're going to see how much range we can get in gear 2. We're going to see how fast it can take us from a zero start to its maximum speed limit in gear 2, and try to be as consistent as possible with that same exact mileage and see just how much range we can get realistically on the road going in two directions. So with that said, what I'm looking for besides the range is also the reliability of the motors. It does have dual 500-watt motors, so I'm hoping to get some good performance out of it, as well as a decent range. So the battery is a 48 volt 23.4 amp hour battery on the Roadrunner V3. So we're going to see how it does with range and reliability. Again, I am a heavier rider of 292 pounds with safety gear on, so I am going to go and gear up and meet you guys outside. But before I meet you guys outside, I did want to tell you that the main reason why I'm also doing this range test is because there's a lot of companies out there that claim to be able to have their scooters or PEVs handle a heavy rider up to 330 pounds. So that's one of the reasons why I want to put this Roadrunner V3 into its paces before I return it back to Melvin at Vora Motors in Panorama City. So with that said, let me gear up and join me outside and we'll take off from there. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we are on the Roadrunner V3 and we do have the scooter at 100% battery life. We have the tire pressure set to 40 psi. We do have it here in gear 2 already, and the trip information is at 0. So we are going to be using the Relive app so that this way we can get an idea of how long it took us for the entire trip. And again, like I did with the range test video in gear 1, we're going to also drain the battery as far as we can to 0. But this time, as soon as it starts stopping, I'm going to actually stop and call it. So let's go ahead and get going. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we are in dual motor mode here for the Roadrunner V3. Let's do this. Very torquey, like I mentioned in the last video, whenever this thing has a fully charged battery, which is pretty cool. And again, our goal is to go as far as we can towards San Gabriel Valley off of Las Tunas Drive and Rosemead Boulevard and head back and see how this Roadrunner V3 does. It's the new V3. It's unreleased. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm doing a range test on it. It gets released on the 12th, so I can't put any videos up until then. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Today is also December 6th, 2024, and it is around 1 p.m. give or take. So again, we'll see how we do. Right now it says 31 miles on the speedometer. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it's doing, but not bad. And we're just going to see how far it can go. We might not make it all the way to the Las Tunas and Rosemead, because I don't want to walk too far in case this battery does die. But you know, I just wanted to let you guys know. Alright, so regarding the stopping when it comes to the brakes, it does have a pulsating thing, so you will see this thing going back and forth a little bit. That's actually the Roadrunner V3 working its ABS, and unfortunately it can't be disabled, man. It could only be like at the lowest setting, which is kind of already aggressive. So I did try the plus setting and it was way too aggressive. So if I were you guys, if you get one of these, I would highly recommend that you just keep it at the lowest setting. I do wish that we could disable it completely, because it sometimes makes it feel like there's something wrong with the brakes, but there isn't. So right now we're reaching 28 miles. We are in Pasadena. Now it says 30 on the speedometer, 31, 32, and so far no signs of it dropping in voltage. 33, not bad. 33 based on what it said on the display, and this is in gear 2, guys, gear 2. So considering that this is still kind of slow, I'm going to go ahead and try to get behind this Toyota. Hopefully there is no issues with the cars behind me or anything like that, and we'll take it from there. But I'm going to be right here since we are at the 30 mile cap based on the speedometer information. So far 31 miles an hour is what it's been doing, not bad. And the brakes are pretty good. You could feel just a little tiny bit of pulsating right there when you use the brakes pretty aggressively. Alright, so right here we're in the bike lane, but we still got to be careful for cars, like people that are opening up their doors. We are in Pasadena though. It won't be long till we reach Alhambra. But what I'm going to do right now to make this video as short as possible is give you guys an update once I reach Alhambra, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to Alhambra, and we got about 3 miles in on the trip information, and we're going about 31 miles an hour based on the speedometer information. I will go ahead and cut the video here and update you guys as soon as we get to San Gabriel Valley. Alrighty, guys. Alrighty, so we're still in the city of Alhambra, and though when I do not engage the thumb throttle, I do see all 4 bars, but as soon as I engage it, it drops down to 2 bars. So there is some kind of voltage sag. So I'm positive that we're not going to make it all the way to San Gabriel Valley off of Las Tunas and Rosemead. We're most likely going to have to be making our way back way before we even reach there. But we'll see how it does. Again, it's doing pretty well though. When it comes to the speed, it's not doing bad. It's actually doing quite good on the like the acceleration is pretty decent, and the speed has been pretty good at about 28 to 30 miles an hour, give or take. So right now you can see here a little bit that there is all 4 bars. So this acceleration is not as quick anymore, but again, it does maintain its speed once it catches up. And the wheels do move freely, so you can actually coast it once you reach the speed that you're trying to achieve, and then just let go of the throttle and let it glide until it starts to slow down, and then engage the throttle again. Like, something that's not helping my range here is the consistent red lights that we keep getting. Like this guy right here, he just ran a red light. This Prius probably wasn't paying attention. But we are almost reaching that San Gabriel Valley area that I told you guys about last time. They don't drive good in this area, so it's a little concerning. So we are on Chapel Avenue and Main Street in the city of Alhambra, and we got 5 miles in so far, and we're still in Gear 2 dual motor mode. Now the reason why I do not want to use single motor mode is because it'll put a strain on the rear motor, and though it can get you to speed, it will take longer than having it in dual motor to get you to your desired speed, meaning the acceleration would be slower. On top of that, I also have an issue with the fact that I'm a 292 pound rider, so I'm definitely concerned about causing any overheating issues on the motor. Like, if you're a heavier person above 200 pounds, it's probably best for you to keep this Roadrunner V3 in dual motor. So every time you power it on, remember to push the little button that has the rocket on it, so you can engage dual motor mode immediately. But if you're under 200, let's say like 170 and below, you might be able to get away with the single motor mode. And I don't know if it would actually save you any battery life, or you might get maybe a mile or two more, but I would honestly just leave it in dual motor mode for the fact that, you know, it will put less strain on the rear motor, even with a person of 170 pounds. So okay, so the resting point on this battery icon here was at 75 now, going at 5 miles on the distance, and it's still at 2 bars right now with it fully accelerated. But now we're close to that 75% mile cap when it's resting without you pushing on the throttle. But we are trying to push it to see just how much it can do. I'm positive that on a completely flat surface road you would get way more range, but this is what it is. Oh yeah, and those squeaky brakes was not me. It was actually this this Infinity right here, that's in front of me right here, this guy. It wasn't me. These brakes are actually very quiet. You don't even hear like it spindling like the way you do on the RS or the Roadrunner Pro, where it makes this real little rubbing vibration sound, but it's normal. Okay, right now we got about 25 miles on the speedometer. We still got 2 bars when I accelerate, so not bad. And on the side of doing this range test in Gear 2, we're also looking for reliability when it comes to the motors. If the motors don't overheat, with a big rider like me at 292 pounds and all we get is just less range, then this is a testament for this Roadrunner V3 that it can indeed handle a heavy rider up to 330 pounds. So now we've reached San Gabriel Valley. We're on Las Tunas in San Marino. Okay, I'm still at 2 battery icons, so not bad. Okay, we got 7 miles in right now, going at about 29 miles an hour, what it says on the speedometer. And for the sake of not getting stranded here, guys, I am going to start heading back. We are at 2 bars. So we made it to San Gabriel Boulevard and Las Tunas. So not bad for what it is. I think that we did pretty well. Yeah, we didn't get to go all the way down to Las Tunas, but the fact that we have this as a possibility here, it's not so bad. Now we can start heading back because of the 2 bar issue. I definitely do not want to get stranded because I'm really far from my house, and having to walk all the way home from here is just way too far. So we did the turn at the 7-mile mark. Now it's not doing that bad. It's been consistent with the speed of about 27 to 29 miles per hour. So not bad at all. We still got 2 bars here, but again, man, we are at the 7-mile mark, so we got to make it back. So if we do get like 14 miles of range in this speed, that I'm as close as I can be to my house. But once the motor starts to show hesitation, that's when we'll know to call it quits on the test ride and the range test here. But overall, it's doing okay. The shocks they're okay. They're not that bad. They're basically like the stock Roadrunner Pro shocks, but they still bottom out, just not as bad because this scooter is not as heavy. It's only 62 pounds. Versus 114 on the Roadrunner Pro. And that's without you adding any kind of accessories. But yeah, now the acceleration has slowed down quite a bit. So I'm kind of glad that I decided to just go ahead and start heading back. Okay, we got the green light for walking, so let's just keep going. Alrighty, so we're on Santa Anita Street in Las Tunas, and we have a consistent speed of about 27 miles per hour based on the speedometer information. We got 8 miles in on this trip so far, and we are heading back because at the 7-mile point it was more consistent on the 2 bars, and I want to make sure that I get to make it home and not have to worry about having to walk 5 or 6 miles back to my house. The scary part here in San Gabriel Valley is literally not having a dedicated bike lane. We do have to share the road with the cars as well as the cars sharing the road with us, but the problem here is that a lot of these cars don't like to do that. Like yesterday, a lady in a van was too close to me when it came to me riding on the road with them and sharing it. It was not so great. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we made it back to the city of Alhambra, and I do now have 2 bars of battery. It does keep flickering between 1 to 2 bars, so it's a little scary. I am still a bit of a distance away from my house, so I kind of knew that this trip was going to be a whole lot shorter going at a faster speed. This is a testament though that if you do ride your scooter slower, you will get more range, even if you're going in the same direction. So I'm gonna cut the video here, and I'm gonna update you guys once I get to Pasadena. If anything happens on the scooter along the way, I'll make sure to record that clip so you guys can see how the scooter does in general. But the purpose again of this range test is to see how it does with a heavy rider like me at 292 pounds. Not just the range for this 48 volt 23.4 amp hour battery, but also the reliability of the motors and the sine wave controllers. Like, will they get hot? Will they overheat? Will there'll be some issues with the scooter? And so far there hasn't been. So we'll see how things go. So let me cut the clip here, and I'll update you guys once I get really close to Pasadena. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and we have made it to the city of Pasadena. We got about 11 miles in. We're going 24 miles an hour consistently right now, and the acceleration has reduced significantly going in gear 2. We do still have one battery icon. I noticed that when I rest the scooter without pushing the throttle, it goes back to 2 bars. So this lets me know that we're somewhere between like maybe 30 to 40% battery life on this Roadrunner V3. So not bad for what it is. You can kind of see it there a little bit. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that. But we do have 2 battery icons without pushing the throttle. And once we push on the throttle, then the battery reduces to 1 icon. So again, we're not that far from my house, but still a good distance away. So let's see how it does. But so far it's been doing pretty well. And this is just, like I said before, a good testament to find out how the scooter does, especially with acceleration. And again, a heavier rider of 292 pounds with gear on. Like I mentioned before in the previous video, there are a lot of scooter companies and PEV companies out there that claim rider weights up to 330. But when you see people reviewing these kinds of PEVs, you never see anybody in that heavy category. And though I am not, happy at the fact that I'm a heavy rider, I at least want to give you guys this chance to see what it does with somebody as heavy or close to the weight limit. With that said though, the acceleration has slowed down quite a bit. Now it went down to 1 icon immediately, but we are slowly cruising and we are in the bike lane, which is great. So I'm gonna update you guys once I get to the Pasadena borderline going into Highland Park, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we are in Indiana Avenue and Monterey Road, and we've been riding for 13 miles now. We got about 47 minutes in on our ride, and we've been going on a consistent speed of about 24 to 27 miles per hour. We are going down an incline now, and we are almost at the Pasadena city limits, which is technically South Pasadena. But I just wanted to give you guys an update before we get to Highland Park. If we do get back to Highland Park like in the last video and it still has decent battery, I'll go around the block a few times until I finish this battery off, and then let you guys know the complete mileage that I actually got officially. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video clip here so we can get as close as we can to Highland Park in a safe manner and go from there. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so we made it to Highland Park. We are on York Boulevard in Figueroa. We're actually not that far from my house, so what I'm going to be doing here, since we have 14 miles in, I'm going to keep going because I still have 1 battery icon remaining. So what I want to do is give you guys the most accurate reading on this Roadrunner V3 when it comes to its battery completely dying, and give you guys total mileage. So I know when it'll start dying because like the last range test I did, the scooter started to get very jerky towards the end, and it was basically pulsating in power off and on, basically turning off the single icon and going to 0, and when it would have a 0 icon on the battery gauge would start flashing. So yeah, we'll definitely know for sure when we start reaching that end. So I'm gonna keep doing that, guys, until we see officially what we get. Alrighty, guys. I've been riding around for a little while. We do have 1 battery icon on the battery display part, and we are at a consistent about like 24 to 28 miles, give or take. And we do have 17 miles in on the trip information, we've been riding for an hour and 2 minutes so far, and the scooter is already showing signs of it slowing down on the miles per hour and acceleration. So we're not doing so bad right now. It says 27 miles per hour, so we're just riding around until this thing runs out of battery. So it's doing pretty good, and we are riding at a more flatter surface road to get the best out of this Roadrunner V3, because not everybody lives around a bunch of inclines like I do. So we'll see how that goes, guys. I'll update you guys though once this thing starts jerking around a bit with the battery icon, and we'll call the official range by then. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I spoke too soon. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have now reached the official range. It is 18 miles of range so far. We do have a one battery icon here, but right now it started jerking. So watch, if I start doing this as we're looking at the battery, check this out. So we're gonna keep trying to ride, but you guys can see, there we go. It died out again. This just lets you know pretty much where this thing is going. There we go, it died out again, and we're at 18 miles. Let's keep going. Let's finish it off. We're around the block from my house, so not that bad. There we go again. And this is what you can expect when the scooter starts to die on you. The battery will go to 1 icon and then go to 0, and when it goes to 0, it will start zeroing out. So not bad where we're at right now. I'm really happy that I'm only like not even a block away from my house, so we're almost there. My house is right across the street from here, and again, this thing is officially dying. So here we go, and it's still dying. Still dying. Alrighty, and here we go. We made it to my house. Freaking perfect, guys. Alrighty, guys, this is it here, the official range. I can see here that it says 18 miles of range on the trip information, and though it says 1 battery icon, this icon was disappearing, and it kept going to like a blank little box that kept flashing off and on. So yes, 18 miles of range. Let's go ahead and put the scooter back to charge, go into the basement, and talk to you guys about my overall experience in Gear 2. Alrighty, guys. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and we're back home. That was an incredible journey on this Roadrunner V3 going in Gear 2. I wanted to basically talk to you guys about my overall experience with the scooter. I think it did pretty good for what it was. I was able to basically get 18 miles of range based on the information on the display under the trip information. I do want to show you guys real quick the mapping of Relive, so let me go ahead and go to that now. So as you guys can see here on the Relive app, I was able to go from Highland Park to Pasadena, from Pasadena to Alhambra, Alhambra to San Gabriel, and I went all the way back home to Highland Park, and I was riding around in circles around my area of where I live at, because I had a good amount of battery life left. It did say 18 miles on the display, 17.9 miles on the Relive app, an hour and 4 minutes, but the speed limit was weird. It said 16.5 miles of speed, and I really did not do that. I was more at about 20-ish and above, like 24 miles and above. So I don't know if I can 100% trust the Relive app when it comes to the actual range that I did. So I'm gonna call it and say it was 18 miles of range, but it was pretty incredible to see that. Again, man, I think it did really well for what it is, and now I know for a fact that when you start running out of power, you will see the scooter start react, where it starts to be like a little jerky, where you'll get a icon of the battery on the display, and then it'll disappear and you'll see a blank square blinking off and on, and then that's when the battery will basically start dying on you, where you'll feel the scooter slowing down, and then the battery comes back on, and then you start riding again, and then it goes back off, etc. So overall, I think it did really good. So I'm really happy that I did this range test in Gear 2. Obviously, if you are a slimmer rider, you're going to get way more range than me. So the main reason why I'm doing this is not to be criticized over my weight. It's just to show you guys that the Roadrunner V3 can indeed achieve some decent range for a heavier rider, and on top of that, the motors won't overheat. So that's a really good thing. Alrighty, my friends, so with that said, if you would like to support the channel and you appreciate the video I did, please consider using my discount code TAG19350 off to get $50 off your Roadrunner V3 or the Roadrunner Pro at voromotors.com. So this way I can continue to make more content for you guys on the channel with future products from Voro Motors. Again, this was a loan from Voro Motors, so I do not get to keep this Roadrunner V3. I do have to return it. So it gives me the opportunity to be 100% honest with you guys, which is freaking fabulous. It's almost the same thing as me buying the scooter. The only thing I'm not going to be able to do in these videos is give you guys a realistic reliability of the scooter, because technically I'm just borrowing it for a set amount of weeks and doing a range test. But that's the whole point of the video, is to give you guys an idea of what the scooter can do. But with that said, I will let you guys go, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask down below in the comments. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace for now.